for our, there we go. Thank you, David, very much. Good morning to everybody and welcome. I will call to order this regular, meeting of the Lawrence County Board of Commissioners. Today is Tuesday, April 28th of 2026. Welcome all of you who are present here today. I want to note a couple housekeeping items. We are live streaming the meeting, and we welcome anybody who might be watching us. We're also recording this session. We would request if you have an electronic communication device, if you please put it on vibrate or silent. We would certainly appreciate that courtesy. We always begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'd ask you to remain standing for a moment of silence. Commissioner Sanada, could you lead us in the pledge today?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. We'll have a moment of silence. Thank you all very much. Vanessa, could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Sinata?
Here.
Commissioner Vogler?
Here. We have a quorum. Commissioner Kennedy is out of town today, which explains why he is empty. But as long as there are two of us here, we're able to conduct business. Two commissioners do constitute a quorum. Before I move on to the explanation of procedures, this is a bittersweet day here at the courthouse and specifically in the commissioner's office. The young lady over on that side of the room, I don't need to point, but Vanessa Bayless, she and her husband are starting a new chapter in their life in many respects, but they're moving to Florida. I don't want to give too much away,
You're
but
fine.
Vanessa has secured employment with, interestingly enough, the county in which they will be residing. What's the name of the county?
Marion.
Marion County. And consequently, tomorrow is Vanessa's last day with us. She's been with us since 2005? 2004, 22 years. And she's seen a lot of commissioners come and go. She's trained each and every one of us. She advised us probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago of what will be transpiring, and caught all of us off guard. We had a little reception here for her last week. But of everybody here, you and I have worked together the longest. And it's going to be tough to see you go. But we're happy for you. You know, you're starting a new adventure, and our wish for you and Eric is that it's a positive adventure with a lot of good things that will happen for both of you. But I want to offer my true thanks for all that you've done for commissioners, for staff, the other employees, and for the county as a whole. As with any organization, there are a lot of people oftentimes behind the scenes that don't make the headlines, don't get their picture in the paper. But without them, this place wouldn't function. Believe me, it would not function. And your skills are many. Three that come to mind are your people skills, your organizational skills, and your efficiency skills. I've never met anyone as so well organized as you are. And that's what's kept us going. So on behalf of everyone in this organization, and particularly coming from me as well, and I'm sure I speak for Mr. Kennedy, we want to thank you and wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner Sanada, would you care to make any comments?
Sure, Chairman. I'd like to echo what Chairman Vogler said. Vanessa, it's been a pleasure to work with you for the past 2.5 years. As Chairman Vogler said, when myself and Commissioner Kennedy took the role of commissioner, We had a little learning curve, and Chairman Vogler was helpful, but you were very much the operation of the office, how it was handled and how we did things. And I think that was very important with someone with your background experience. I knew of you in my previous role as a legislator. My staff used to call you and whenever they needed anything from the county, and you were always prompt, delivered everything they ever needed from you. So my prior staff was very impressed with you. They told me when I come up to, oh, you're going to be working with Vanessa. And I said, yes. And so I'm saying that was noted long before I ever got here. So I was very comfortable walking in that door back in January of 2024 and knowing that you were capable and competent. That's so a telling tale, and you will be missed. We wish you the very best with your new venture down in Florida, you and your husband. And like I said, I want to thank you, for the way you helped run that office. And as Chairman Vogler said, a lot of things happen behind the scenes and things get done. And for the past 2.5 years, I think we've run a very good ship up in the county between myself, Commissioner Kennedy, and Commissioner Vogler. But a lot of that goes between the help that you've given us, and I want to throw a little shout to you, Mr. Vanasco, for your efforts helping with our budgetary and issues, because it's like a business. County's like a business. We run it as a business and a government operation. So thank you, Vanessa, for everything you've done. We wish you the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Vanasco, would you care to comment?
Sure. No, a couple of weeks ago, when Vanessa, let us know that she would be leaving, it was a bit of a shock at first. Obviously, from day one when I came in the office, she was very crucial to me being able to come in and get up to speed. Coming from a different county office to a county administrator role is intimidating enough. However, having someone like Vanessa behind the scenes made that transition pretty smooth and much easier for me. And I can't thank her enough. So since day one, we kind of worked with things as a team, and we'll miss her. She's obviously a vital cog to our team. I keep saying she'll be back in 2 weeks. I'm gonna keep her seat warm for her. No, I wish her the best of luck, and deserves nothing. Her and Eric deserve nothing but the best. So best of luck to both of you, and I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
100%. Thank you, guys. I appreciate everything over the last 22 years. Yeah, it's gone very quickly. Does not feel
you
like
look the same. You haven't changed. I don't know what your
I
secret is.
appreciate that. But I will miss you guys. I will miss everyone here, for sure.
Well, once again, thank you so much for all that you've done.
Thank you.
We wish you nothing but happiness. Thanks, Vanessa.
Sure.
Back to the agenda. I'll note that we will have 2 opportunities during this meeting for public comment. And you're welcome to speak both times. We have public comment in just a few moments, and then before we adjourn. If you'd like to speak, you're welcome to speak both of those times. If you just want to speak once, or if you're just here to listen, that's equally fine. If you do speak, we'd ask you to identify yourself and ask that your comments be related to county government matters. If it's a state matter, we suggest you talk to your state representative. If it's a municipal matter, we suggest you talk to your city, borough, or township. But if it's a county matter, you're at the right place. And also, if you could try to limit your time to about 5 minutes or so, we would appreciate that courtesy. That drops us down to public comment, and I will open the floor if anybody wishes to make a comment at this time.
The 3 of us are here, as probably most of you know, but first of all, congratulations for this.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're not taking us with you? Well, the 3 of us, as you probably know, President Randy Crum, Vice President Vaughn Creasy, and myself, are here as part of Vision Ministries. And what we wanted to do is just briefly update you on what we've been doing. And first of all, thanking you for having your trust in us to carry out what we said that we would do. And so we want to update you on that very quickly here. I have a little list on my phone because my memory isn't what it used to be, so please bear with me. What we've been doing a lot is educational purposes for prevention. And that is to help educate not the whole community, but specifically the kids and hopefully the parents. And we get into the schools to teach prevention. And it's not just prevention for drug issues, which is really our forte, but it's about making good decisions, okay, which sometimes can interject with drugs. Just to give you a little update, one of the biggest things that we're working on, we feel is one of the most important, it's called Operation Prevention. And Operation Prevention is actually patterned on a DEA program, but it was written for our purposes by a young lady who has a master's in education, so we know that it's well put together. It is being implemented at Mohawk right now, and actually it will be going into, you guys, that's it, Votech, possibly Neshannock as well. And the manual's huge, but what it does is it starts with grade 3. And it's a curriculum that takes every grade, and there's specific courses for every grade all the way up through graduation. And it's a tremendous program. So that's a big undertaking, but we have a commitment from Mohawk. They've already started. It is a measurable type of project, so it's evidence-based. There's pre-tests, there's post-tests, that type of thing. So we do have the data on how effective this education is for the folks, again, from grades 3 all the way through 12. Let me pull up my list here. That's the one that we're really pushing hard to try to get implemented throughout all county schools. Included in that is a scholarship, right, Randy? You want to tell us about the scholarship?
Yeah, the scholarship goes to Mohawk. Will be to a 12th grade student that would, we have already put together the correct, what they need to answer, how they need to answer this question of illicit drugs and what it, to get the scholarship. And we worked with Lori Hauk, who is the superintendent. And we go into Mohawk quite a bit. We go into 8th grade. We do a Just One program for the 8th graders. We've been 2,000 kids we've talked to already. And we've got a couple more schools to go into, which has opened their doors for us to go into. But we're serious about what we're doing. These kids are at the end of the programs, and whenever we go in, they come up and they actually converse with us and also teachers and whatever. So we're getting a great response from those kids. But what it does is it gives the scholarship gives an opportunity for a 12th grader because they're going into the college. Most of them are going into college at that time, and they're going to be faced with a lot more stuff. So, we want to get it out there so that at least it's out there where they can answer those questions, dig into it, and get a good, an answer to it. And when we go over and they got to meet a certain grade point average, and that they're attentive to the school, they go to school all the time, and they have to meet that criteria before we give out the scholarship. We would like to do that in every school because I think it's very important to put it out there because we don't want to push this under the rug. We want those kids to know, even at the 3rd grade level, they say, well, why 3rd grade? Well, 3rd grade because we teach everything else at 3rd grade, reading, writing, arithmetic, all that. Why should they learn at their level just the pertinent things that's going to matter to them as they grow up? Because the key to prevention is education. We know it. And so we're trying to do the very best we can. So that's why that's what we're doing. So you got some more there to do?
Yeah. Vaughn also worked with them to put together a poster contest. You want to tell them about that?
Yeah, well, like I said, we don't really know where that stands. We're working with the art department out there with the 8th grade, 9th grade to develop posters related to making good decisions and good choices related to illicit drugs. What we've done is we're going to offer the winner, or first 3 places will be awarded $200, $150. And we're going to use those posters to put on the billboards. I'm sure you guys have noticed that we have billboards around the county. We're going to use those to put up there. So it's more relatable to kids to actually see this. As everybody says, I mean, these kids are our future. I mean, that's the way we're gonna beat this, is educate these kids. It's not just about drugs, it's about making good choices and good decisions in life. About vaping, it's about smoking, it's about alcohol. It's about all these things we talk to these kids about. Because if we don't talk to them about it, somebody else is gonna talk to them about it. It's gonna be the wrong person. It's gonna be the person that's trying to get them hooked on these drugs or alcohol or whatever it may be. So we just felt to get the kids more involved in this, that would be something to try to get activated in all the schools, but we're starting with Mohawk out there with that.
I want to thank you for all that you do. That's why we're here, basically. We want to give you a report, but we want to thank you too, commissioners. And Joe, we want to thank you for what you do. It wouldn't be possible to do these things. You give us an incentive to do that, and we want to continue to do that. I mean, I'm going to be 73. I'm not a young guy anymore, but I have 7 grandchildren that it's important for me to do all I can, and we can do all we can to touch our grandchildren and the people around us. That's what matters. So we want to leave something before I go out. Does that make sense? I want to leave something good. We want to leave something good for this community, for Lawrence County, because we do a lot of things in Lawrence County. Behind the scenes, sometimes like she does, nobody knows that, but there's things we do behind the scenes that people, I go into the jails, we go into the jails. I go into jails every Monday. Every Monday I'm in the Lawrence County Jail from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. We talk to, 4 different categories. We rotate the guys to the girls. And so, and we're seeing tremendous improvement there. So just to let you know, that's some of the programs we do. You have a couple more things.
Yeah, just a couple of things to wrap up here. Hope we didn't go over to 5 minutes.
You're fine, you're fine.
We probably did. But don't let us on.
We each get 5 minutes. 15.
Each of us get 5, right? We are embarking, one of our challenges has been to reach parents. And it's been for various reasons. But what we're going to start is a podcast educational series. And it will be actually a series of courses that we delivered through podcast. And these are some of the courses that are on our plan that you guys have seen. And so we can deliver it to a lot of people that way, and they can join the podcast whenever or watch it whenever they want to on their time. So it's not something that, in addition to that, as Randy mentioned, we've spoken to about 2,000 children in those age groups since the first of the year. And we've also been fortunate enough to start to get into the universities. So we also went to Slippery Rock University upon their request, and I'm sure that we're going to be coming back. And we would like to get to Westminster College as well. So those are the highlights of what we've been doing and what we continue to plan to do. We also have memorial walks, and we get pretty good turnouts for those. And in addition to that, you've seen the billboards, as Randy had just mentioned too. So that's our forte. That's our main focus, is to teach, so when the time comes, people can make the right decisions, whether you're a child, whether you're an adult, whether you're a parent. And we just wanted to give you an update and thank you because this is what you're allowing to take place, and we appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, like I said, we just want to thank you guys. We want to thank the opiate committee also, the advisory board. That without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. And as you guys know, this is very personal to me. Losing a son to this poison, it's something that, like I said, touches me deeply. And without your support, without your commitment to what we do, we wouldn't be able to do it. So we truly appreciate all the support and trust that you guys have instilled in us. So again, just thank you very much.
One last thing I would say is that the things that we bring to it that's different than a lot of these educational programs, the thing we bring to it is realism. He has lost a son. The other person that's on our board had lost a son at 20 years old. And so they give their testimony, and these kids, and plus in law enforcement, when I was in law enforcement, there's things that I run across in law enforcement that was pertinent to, we knew about drugs, we arrested, but we didn't understand drugs. There's a difference between understanding what's happening with the mind and the brain and everything else, okay? So I learned that over my course of being involved here. And with this. So it changed my mind. So when we go to these places, they bring a testimony that is real to people. This is real stuff. This is not something they read in a book. This is not something, this is personal. And when it's personal, it impacts those kids. When you get it and when those kids stand up and give you a standing ovation for what you've taught them, that says something to these, the students when they stand up. So they're getting it, and their eyes are wide open, listening to these stories, and it's getting in here. Even if it saves one life, we give out these things to every place we go. Just one pill can kill. All right, and they take them. Well, even if they look at that and remember what happened or what they heard, it's a plus. So thank you so much. We come down here to thank you because you're a big part of this. What we do, you're part of this.
Well, it's an honor for us to play a role in what you are carrying out day in and day out. For the benefit of people who might be watching online, the funding source that these gentlemen are referencing would be opioid legal settlement dollars that are being distributed throughout the country. And all 67 counties here in Pennsylvania have received these dollars. We formed an advisory board that's chaired by Mr. Vanasco. And one of the reasons we chose Joe is because of his background in mental health and developmental services, his expertise in those areas. And that board has met with these gentlemen, I'm sure on numerous occasions. And the advisory board then has come to the three commissioners and made recommendations to us in terms of how we have allocated and distributed these dollars. It's very interesting when you mention you're starting with Mohawk. And I have to tell a personal story very quickly. I'm a proud Mohawk graduate, and what you were sharing with me brought back a memory. When I was in 6th grade, and that would have been at the time that the Mount Jackson Elementary School, the building is still standing, but barely. But I'll never, it's funny how I have not forgotten this. I had a classmate, nice fellow, lives out near Philadelphia now, Tony Feld. His dad, Leo Feld, was a pharmacist. He had the pharmacy down in Mahoningtown. And I'll never forget, Mr. Feld came to our class one day and he brought with him a big display case with various drugs that were either illegal or could have a negative impact on people. And he spoke with us about all of these various drugs. And it certainly got our attention, but keep in mind, this was probably about 1970, and I still have a memory of that. So my hope is that the young people with whom you're meeting and who are being educated in this format, that they'll remember it decades to come. Because I've never forgotten Mr. Feld and his presentation.
Absolutely.
Mr. Sonata, do you have any comments?
Yeah, I've dealt with these gentlemen for many years. What year did you start?
2015.
Has it been that long or 11 years?
11 years.
I remember when you actually started, you met with me
Yeah.
down there in my other office.
Yep.
We've come a long way in those 11 years. You started small, but you grew it the right way because you have to build a foundation. And I think you've done that. I'm impressed with what you're telling us today, but I've seen you in action, and I think it's so vital. As Chairman Vogler said, a lot of times, the impression you have of those kids, they last a long time. I've spent many years in the school system. My degree is in education, and also when I was a legislator, I had a school program, which I dealt with 5 different schools. I used to do grades 5, 9, and 12, or 8 and 12 in different schools. To these, as Chairman Vogler would tell you, he remembered something in 6th grade. I have people come up to me, remember when I went to visit him 25 years ago.
Wow.
And I'll tell a quick story. This happened, one of the events I was at last week. I had a father and a son come up to me, and he was down to Children and Youth program. And he says, "Oh, I had my picture with you like 25 years ago, and my son had a picture when he was in the 4th grade." So it was a father and son we had to take a picture with. But it's like, they remember that, okay? that's the point that I want to make. Dan said, he remembered something in sixth grade.
Yep.
And people come up to me, they remember this. And that's so important. And when you go and you make a good presentation, they will remember it. And I think you've got that point. And look, Vaughn, I sympathize with you, what you've had to go through with your life, but you're making it positive. By doing what you're doing out there, you may have saved a long lives, all three of you, your whole organization, just because that one day, the one pill can do it. And I see it's hard for me to comprehend. I think many of us in this room, when it comes to drugs and stuff, I would never shoot a needle in my arm, okay? That would always blow my mind. I don't like to be shot, let alone a needle in my arm. When people get addicted to heroin and these drugs and stuff. So it's hard for us to comprehend. But there's issues out there, and as Joe, with his mental health background, it's psychological, there's people going through different things.
Well, that's a huge part of addiction is mental health issues. I mean, there needs to be more energy and money put behind that because that's a major factor in what we deal with here.
Right.
So, I mean, if we can touch one kid, if I touch one child, and we save that child's life,
That's right.
it means a lot. It means a lot to me.
I think that's the point, Vaughn. You may have saved a lot of lives. You don't even know what you saved. Just because that one kid who didn't take that one drug.
Well, it's changed so much too. It's not like the drugs were 20, 15 years ago. I mean, with all these synthetics that they're out there now, not just fentanyl, but nitazene, cytazine, chloroquine now. I mean, they're coming out with, and carfentanyl's making a big comeback. Carfentanyl's 100 times stronger than fentanyl. So we got to get these kids to understand that this one decision they make could be a fatal decision. It could end their life in 5 minutes. It's not what it used to be. It's not like experimenting. When I grew up, sure, I experiment with drugs and you learn a lesson. You learn that's not a route you wanted to take. Unfortunately, today, these kids don't have that opportunity. We have a gentleman in California. His son bought a pill online, took that pill. 5 minutes he was there. It was the first time he ever did anything in his life. And it killed him. I mean, it's happening all the time. My granddaughter, my son's daughter, had a boyfriend up at State College, never did drugs. His brother did. He went on his brother's dresser, took what he thought was a Xanax, took that Xanax and it killed him. First time ever that he did drugs. That's how crucial this is, that we get to these kids about the decisions and choices they're making. So again, we couldn't do it without your support and your trust and belief in us.
I'm going to take up one more thing, and this is important because we just did a program called Braveheart. We had 300 people there. Almost all those people, we get 5 people that have been at least 3 years clean, and they give their testimony up there. We had many dignitaries there. We had 300 people there. They give their testimony. Not only that, we let people in, and we don't charge them. If they're in recovery, they come in, and they're there, and they hear these testimonies of how it can be done. So we had 300 people there, and it was one of the biggest crowds we've ever had. And it was just it's a success because those people are hearing testimonies of people that have made it.
I think it's important. I've been there many times.
You have.
Well, we had a young gentleman that came from Slippery Rock. We just did a presentation at Slippery Rock University. And we were talking to him after and told him about the event, the Braveheart event. Anyway, he came from Slippery Rock to come to this event because he was so impressed with the presentation that we gave in his class at Slippery Rock.
I think it's important to show success.
Yep.
Okay, and that's how that event is. You see the people up there and they come there.
Yeah.
Recovery, that makes everybody feel, but it gives incentive to those
Sure.
who are fighting it.
Yep.
And I think that's the.
It shows that there is a way out. I mean,
There's a
because
way out.
let's face it, most of the people using drugs are people that are addicted and have to use on a daily basis. They're dying also. It's not just people with just one-time use. So
We thank you for your efforts out there, and you want to be successful, keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, I see you guys all frequently, especially now the summer's coming. Keep up, and like I said, it is important, and like I said, one life, every life is important. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, we appreciate your commitment and your compassion, and sharing everything that you have with us this morning. You are very welcome to stay, but I know you're all busy. If you have to move along, we understand.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Take
Thank you
care.
very much.
Hey, you all stood up.
Yeah, we all stood up. It's time to get up. Yeah,
We're looking in the other.
Yeah, move. That's the one.
Thank you.
It's hard down there.
I know. That's better than snow.
I'll see if, I'm looking around the room, we have mostly been out, we have folks from various courthouse offices, but are there any other public comments at this time? Thank you. We'll move along to fiscal and contractual. And in our packets, and these documents are available if anybody wishes to see them, but we do have warrant registers, which are also known as check reconciliation registers, that are provided to us by the county controller's office. And they are dated April 24 and April 22. And Chris, please take whatever time you need to look them over, and whenever you're ready, I could entertain a motion for us to accept these documents.
I've had an opportunity to look them over, and I'd like to make a motion to accept the warrant documents.
Thank you, and I will second your motion, and assuming you have no questions, we'll ask for a roll call.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Also in our packet are the minutes of the April 21, 2026 Commissioners meeting from last week. Again, Mr. Sonata, take whatever time you need, and whenever you are set, I could take a motion from you for us to adopt the minutes.
I've actually read those minutes as well, and I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Thank you. I will second it, and we'll ask for a roll call.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thank you. We've received two pieces of correspondence since last week that we'll enter into the record. The first is notification from Americold Aggregates based in Butler County. They are simply providing us, and it actually started at the planning office, and then the planning office forwarded it to us. It's simply a blasting schedule for work that they are doing, mining work that they are doing down in Wayne Township, down along Jockey Moore Road and State Route 288. So it's simply a blasting notification. The name of the quarry is the Welsh Quarry. And then the second document is from Gateway Engineers, based out of Butler, Pennsylvania. And they have notified us that People's Natural Gas Company intends to submit an application to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection for the issuance of one general permit 1-1, which involves maintenance, testing, repair, rehabilitation, or replacement of water obstructions and encroachments. This is for a natural gas line replacement project that will be located near Rutgers Drive in Neshannock Township. And they've enclosed a map showing the location. Those are the two documents we've received. Chris, any questions or concerns?
No.
Would you wish to make a motion for us to accept these documents?
I make a motion to accept both documents.
I will second it, and we'll ask Vanessa to call the roll.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Takes us down to commissioner reports and comments. And Mr. Sonata, you're first today.
Thank you, Chairman. Actually, it was somewhat of a busy week last week for, I think, all of us. I had an opportunity to stop down at I mentioned it earlier, the children youth program that was held downtown. It was last Thursday. It was a beautiful day and a lot of kids down there, and most of our social service agencies were there, and these three gentlemen were talking about prevention and everything. And I think that goes a long way. I want to commend Pastor Young, Jeanette Rice, and their whole team up there. There was a lot of activity for young kids, and that was nice to see it in a positive way, because a lot of times you're dealing with abuse of children, and that's just something that's unacceptable. And to see them, the children and youth, do that is just a good thing. Also, I had the opportunity to go down to the draft on Friday. I think it's important because I think a lot of people don't realize the effort that Lawrence County put into making that a success. Besides, our office up here working with Rich Fitzgerald and SPC, and we've got Jenny and Janet down at Visit Lawrence County. They were in contact working with Visit Pittsburgh. You had our transit authority working to get people down to Pittsburgh. And also, we had many local businesses that tap into that. And the goal was, and the NFL agreed to this, myself and Commissioner Kennedy went to at least 2 meetings down in Pittsburgh on the ways of getting our people into it, and it was very successful. But the goal was, and when they came in, the NFL made one stipulation, that the 10 counties that were part of the coalition will get contracts. So there would be no contracts outside of those 10 counties. And I had the opportunity yesterday to be in Pittsburgh at the SBC meeting, and we reviewed a lot of the activity that occurred with the draft. And from all the 10 counties, I had representatives there, and all of them had success stories of companies that got contracts. And we had Flour Company here, we had 2 local caterers, and we had a few other small businesses that provided services down there. So I like to commend the NFL as well. They honored their word about local businesses, and I was just happy to see many of our businesses were able to tap into that. But it took a lot of work, and to see how smoothly things went when they had a record number of people, 800,000. That's a record for ever doing this. But to see how smoothly the transportation worked. And I know that our local transportation agency does do buses to Pittsburgh every day, get people to work back and everything. But I think people saw that public transportation can work. And I think that's a message that's out there. And they need to build on what happened with the draft. And the message in Pittsburgh at the SBC meeting yesterday was they want to build up more coalitions working with the various 10 counties to continue working together to be able to tap into these resources. So that's just something I think I wanted to send out there. And I had an opportunity to address my experience to the group. And it was all positive. So that's very rare. A lot of times you have issues, but it did happen, and it was successful. Trying to think of anything else, Chairman. Oh, one last thing, Earth Day. I didn't have an opportunity to get to Elwood on Saturday for Earth Day. Unfortunately, with the rain and everything, it kept a lot of the crowd away. The ones who were there still had an opportunity to see it. I'd like to a little salute out to our recycling. They've been quite active in the public, alerting people. Mr. Zona and his team did a very nice job out there, and it's always good when you can educate the public the importance of recycling and everything. Penn State, they're not under us, but they are in this courthouse. Mary Burness and her team was out. I saw them the last 2 weeks, 2 various Earth Days. So it's good to see that. That's pretty much all I have.
Thank you very much. Speaking of Mary Burris, Commissioner Sanada and I will be going out to the Shenango Community Park in a couple of hours. They're having their annual Envirothon, where they bring in some high school students and talk about things related to our environment and conservation practices. So we've gone to that in the past and look forward to attending it here right around noon today. Well, let's move on to new business. Our first resolution, what number is this one, Vanessa?
72.
This is proposed resolution 72, and this is presented to us by the Treasurer's Office, and Angela Belisco is with us. And Angela, would you mind having a seat so the microphone can pick you up? And we appreciate your joining us today. I'm assuming Mr. Rapone is at one of our municipalities.
He's at one of his outreaches today.
Okay, so thank you for representing him. This proposal would allow for the county to enter into a contract with Government Software Services for computer services and tax billing. Even though this is applicable to the Treasurer's Office, the county code requires that any contract that is entered into has to come before the Board of Commissioners and ultimately be signed by the commissioners. But Angela has given us a one-sheet description of what is involved here, which is very helpful. But I'll turn it over to you if you'd like to give us any of the background or specifics.
So basically, our tax software system that we're currently with has decided to end our relationship as of January 2027. So we were looking around for new software systems, and we had a contract brought to us by GSS, which is who TaxClaim currently uses. So we're just here, I'm just here today for the approval of that. It's also the same one that Tax Clean uses. And we did have it looked over and approved by our solicitor, Ted Satt, for any, legal issues. But, that's really about it. If you have any other questions, I did put a lot of information on the sheet.
No, that's very helpful, and the one thing that stands out is that this company will handle all tax bill preparation and mailing. And they've been around since 1984. And
It
again,
is quite a savings also.
yes, no, that's good to know. And the nice thing is you've jumped on it well in advance of January 1 of 2027.
Yeah, we are able to get into one we can play in to kind of train ourselves in it until the contract is approved. So we're trying to get familiar with it. So when we do move forward, it'll be an easier transition.
No, that's good to know. We appreciate that very much. You've answered all my questions. Commissioner Sanada, any questions?
It seems to be pretty straightforward and everything. And you say it's going to be in May, Angela?
That's when we would like to be able to get both systems so we can we'll be able to work out of both of the systems at the same time while we're training. So when January does come around,
It gives you plenty of
Yeah,
time
that's
to be
plenty of
able to do what has to be done and get things done smoothly. So I think it's, looks like you're ahead of the game and it's important. So I have no problem with this.
Okay, well, thank you, Chris. This is Resolution 72. Would you wish to make a motion?
Sure, I make a resolution that we accept this.
And I will second that motion, and if there are no other concerns, we'll ask for a roll call.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Thank you so much, Angela. You have a great day. The Planning Department has a proposal, this would be Resolution 73, as it relates to the Community Development Block Grant Program that we administer. As you, those of you who follow us with any regularity, you'll know that county administers specifically for anything that we do as a county, as well as 3 particular municipalities that have their own funding source from CDBG, the Borough of Elwood City, Shenango Township, Union Township. What we're looking at today is a revision to an existing contract that's in place with CDBG funds for the Borough of Elwood City, specifically their ADA ramps. And it looks like we're simply shifting some of these funds away from the administrative line item into the actual curb ramp line item, and the dollar amount of the switch is $2,569.53. Mary Glass was kind enough to join us today, and what have I left out, if anything?
You haven't really left anything out. We're just asking for the change order. There was an issue on 13th Street with the width of the sidewalk being a little different than what had been previously thought. So we just need to move a little bit of funds over to be able to pay the contractor. And the borough has also agreed to pay a portion of that.
You answered the one question I was going to ask, and that is I think I knew what the answer was going to be, but you've confirmed it. Borough officials are aware of this, and they're in support of this proposed revision that we're going to
Correct.
take. Thank you. Mr. Sanada, do you have questions for Mary?
Well, Mary was thorough as usual, so appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for coming in, Mary, and I'll see if Chris would wish to make a motion for this resolution.
I will make a motion, accept this resolution.
Thank you, and I will second it, and we can take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Mary, thanks for coming by.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too. Children and Youth Services has 4 proposals today, and our good friend Donald Andrews is with us, and thanks for coming down, Donald. Are these, before we jump into them, Are the four of these all renewals?
They are.
Okay, there's a reason I asked for that. Maybe to save a little bit of time, can we hear Donald's presentation, and then if there's no objection, maybe we take a motion to cover all four. Would that be all right with you?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with Resolution 74, which is a contract renewal with Alternative Living Solutions out in Latrobe, Westmoreland County. Donald, what can you tell us about this one?
Yes, so this is a renewal for 26-27. They offer residential services. We have not utilized them since 2023. They are asking for a 12% increase on their rate, but I think it's important to note they did not ask for a rate increase last year, and they're still well under our 4-year approved amount of $340 a day. And it would be an 80-20 split with the state and federal government, with the county being on the hook for 20%.
Thank you. And Mr. Sonata, any questions? No. All right, thank you. Resolution 75 is a contract renewal with Hoffman Homes, Inc., Littlestown, Pennsylvania. And if my memory serves me correctly, that's out in Adams County. Donald, what information do you have about this one?
Yes, so we have never used this program. We like to keep them as an alternative should we not be able to find placement with any of our other providers. They did not ask for any increase to their rates from last year. Again, this would be an 80-20 split with the county on the hook for 20%, and they are once again well under their 4-year approved rates.
Thank you for that helpful information. And Chris, do you have any questions?
No.
Thank you. Resolution 76 is a contract renewal with Keystone Adolescent Center, Greenville, Mercer County. Donald, what can you tell us?
Yes, they offer residential care as well. Again, not one of our well-used providers. We last used them in 2023. More of a backup option should more of our normal providers not be able to accommodate. And they are also asking for no increase to their rates from last year.
Thank you. Chris, questions?
No.
All righty, thank you. And then the last proposal, Resolution 77, would be from City Mission / Livingstones, Inc. in Uniontown, Fayette County. Donald?
Yes, we last used them in 2023, so once again, more of a backup provider. They are asking for a 9% increase to their rate. They are still well under their 4-year approved rate of $392 a day. They're asking $339 a day. And again, this would be an 80-20 split with the state, with the county on the hook for 20%.
Thank you for that. Mr. Sonata, any questions?
Nope.
What we now then would look at would be, I would ask for a motion for approval of resolutions 74, 75, 76, and 77 inclusive.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to accept all 4 resolutions.
I will offer the second, and Chris, do you have any other concerns? No. Donald, anything we've missed?
Nope.
Okay, we'll ask for a roll call then, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Donald, good to see you. Are you coming back next week, do you
I'm
think?
not sure, I believe so.
Okay, it's always good to have you here.
Thank you.
Take care.
You as well.
Thank you.
On the agenda, under number 7, is an item that involved a proposal to enter into an agreement with West Banco for what's known as a positive pay program. I've been advised that we're not yet ready to act on that.
Yes, we were waiting for just a little bit of additional information from West Banco. This positive pay program is something that the Controller Preston and I have been working diligently on and getting it instituted at the county. Late last evening, Mr. Bish from the bank sent me a text message, or an email, I'm sorry, to tell me that maybe it would be better to push it back a week and present it next week so they can get us the information they need to on their end.
Well, that certainly makes sense, and we don't have in our packet an actual resolution at this point, so there's really nothing for us to table. What I'm going to write on here is that we'll just hold this proposal till possibly next week. Is that fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay, but I'm gonna see if Mr. Sonata has any concerns.
No, I think that makes absolute sense. I think we talked about this.
Yeah, well, positive pay is basically through the county, with our payment, when we pay money out to people, a lot of times we have some of those people become transient, move, and when we have to cancel a check or reissue a check, it costs us, I believe, $30 or $35 per check to do that. What positive pay does is it allows a one-time monthly fee, and then there would be no other charges. That monthly fee would be $95. We spend much more than $95, just, reissuing checks and things like that.
They made that presentation to us a
Yes,
while back.
they did a
Right.
while back. The program, obviously our general fund checks are affected when we have to cancel a check and reissue it to a different address and likewise, and it happens a lot. But the programs or our offices that really get hurt would be the pathonetary's office, sees that a lot. Register and recorder, they send out checks on a more regular basis, and it's a detriment to their budget line item when that happens.
Do you anticipate that somebody from the bank will be here next week?
I'm not totally sure about that. I can certainly, as Mr. Bish gets me the information and we have conversations this week, ask him if he wouldn't mind attending. It's up to the commissioners at that point.
If they can send someone, I'd find helpful. I realize
Yes.
you can handle it.
Well, no, it's no problem.
But if they're able to send somebody, I think it'll be helpful.
Okay.
I agree with you, and I know that we had that presentation a while back, the refresher doesn't hurt. I remember, I know even Controller Prestonline,
Yeah,
very,
I think we're all in favor
Yeah.
of
what I had heard that day,
commissioners
it's
considering
another
this.
way of saving money in the long
It
run.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, very good. We will hold this matter until at least May 5. We have a proposed budget amendment. This would be Resolution 78. And if I'm reading this correctly, this is applicable to our Public Safety Department's budget, or more specifically, the 911 budget. It appears that one of our local businesses, Dell's Garage, made a $500 donation to 911 for the dispatchers. So we're, since we had not anticipated that revenue, we're earmarking that $500 under the 911 revenue fund account, and then we will also apply it to the 911 expense fund account in the same amount, $500. Chris, any questions?
So I'll just thank Dell's Garage for their generosity toward our 911 center.
I would agree. Joe, anything beyond that?
No, just appreciative of Dell's Garage. I think they usually do that about the time of every year. They've done it a couple times now, and they do a telecommunicators appreciation luncheon day. And that helps the 911 center be able to do that.
Well, that's great.
May I have a motion for Resolution 78?
I make a motion for Resolution 78.
I'll second it and ask for a roll call.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 79 is a budget transfer request from the Treasurer's Office, and it's asking for a $16,000 transfer from the Commissioner's contingency into the line item of contracted services of the Treasurer's Office. And it says funds are needed for the contract with government software services that we discussed here a few moments ago. Chris, any questions?
No, Mr. Manasco, are you comfortable with this?
Yes, I am.
Fine.
In the big picture, as you guys saw earlier in the meeting, it's a net savings for us.
Right. Okay, thank you. May I have a motion for Resolution 79?
I'll make that motion.
Second, and we'll ask Vanessa to call the roll.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes?
motion carries.
Thank you. The jail is requesting a $795 transfer to come out of their medical expense line item and go into their minor office line item. That's the only transfer request we have. Chris, any questions?
No.
Would you care to make a motion to approve this request?
I make a motion to approve it.
Second it, and we'll ask for a roll call.
Commissioner Sanado?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. One or two announcements. This board will meet 1 week from today, public meeting in this room. Everyone is welcome at 10 a.m. The County Planning Commission, as of right now, is scheduled to meet and hold their monthly meeting on Wednesday, May 13. I don't know if you probably didn't have time to adjust this.
I did not,
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
That's all right, I've written it down here. The agenda has an address on the Elwood Newcastle Road, which would not apply to this. The planned location for this meeting is the Pennsylvania American Water Company's treatment facility in New Beaver Borough, specifically at 352 Industrial Park Drive, just outside of Wampum, and that's off of State Route 18, down by the old Stonecrest Golf Course in New Beaver Borough. The reason I say it's tentative, the Planning Commission keeps their calendar open until tomorrow at 3. And so far they've had no items submitted to them that would require them to meet. So if something comes in between now and tomorrow at 3, they'll have a meeting. If they don't receive any items for consideration, then they will more than likely cancel the meeting. So we'll know by next Tuesday. But if they meet, it'll be down at the water company out in New Beaver. For public comment, I will note that the room is empty, so we're not able to take any public comment. But I will ask Commissioner Sanada if he has any closing remarks.
No, Chairman. Like I said, once again, Vanessa, wish you the best. I thought we had a very productive meeting today, getting the message out, with our friends with the opioid situation. So, pretty much look forward to meeting these students out Shenango Park here in about another hour.
Yep. And I think the rain has stopped. Good. Joe, anything?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, it's your last chance. You can say whatever you want.
Just thank you guys for everything. It's, like I said, hard to believe it's been this long. It goes very quickly.
Sure does. And the feeling is mutual, but thanks for all you've done. Well, Chris, would you wish to adjourn the meeting with a
I'll make a
motion?
motion to adjourn.
I will second your motion. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody. And Joe, you'll do the honors of turning off the recorder. So we got about an hour, right? Yeah. My phone just rang, so better return that call.
Yeah.